City Hall, demonstrators celebrated International Women's Day by speaking out against nuclear weapons. The rally comes in anticipation of a vote Duluth City councilors are expected to take on Monday. If passed, councilors would signal their support for asking President Biden to sign the treaty on the prohibition of nuclear weapons. 92 countries have signed the treaty, which would ban the possession of nuclear weapons under international law. Duluth's Grandmothers for Peace and the League of Women Voters helped sponsor today's rally. They say the United States has a unique responsibility in this matter.
And our country is the only country that has used nuclear weapons on another country. And I think that we have a responsibility, the United States has a responsibility to lead the way to fight against and stand for this treaty to prevent nuclear weapons.
Again, City Council will vote on the resolution Monday. If passed, Duluth will join more than 100 cities across the nation calling on Biden to sign.